How's it going there, true believers? It is I, Shane, and I'm here to give you my review for Captain America, Brave New World. It's the new MCU movie, but before I go even further, I need you to be brave enough to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell right there to be notified of more reviews like this. And if you want to support me even further, my Patreon link is in that description below. Wow, here we are. This Black History Month has been Black History, and I'm telling you, this is the 35th MCU movie, the 4th Captain America movie, and this is technically the second 4-part movie. Yeah, because Thor, not the Thor Dark World, what was that movie? Thor Love and Thunder. There we go. That was the first 4-part movie. Although I don't know if this counts because this is a new Captain America. Just so this is technically Captain America 4 and Incredible Hulk 3. This movie, I can describe it to you, which I'm going to do. By the way, if you haven't paid attention to the description right there, this will be spoilers. So if you haven't seen the movie, you want to see the movie before hearing anything else from me, make sure you go do that. Then you come back right here. But yes, Black History Month is just great. We got Black Captain America. We got 3 major categories in the Grammys, all won by Black folks. Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl halftime show, that was amazing. You're lying to yourself if you say it isn't. And here, Sam Wilson. This was good. This was good. Harrison Ford takes over for, I believe his name is Robert Hurt. You know what, guys? I have a bunch of notes here. I can just pull this up right now. Harrison Ford, pardon me, takes over for, I feel like his name was William Hurt, because there's also John Hurt, who famous British actor. Won't get into that, but he takes over from William Hurt, who passed away in 2022, who has been Thunderbolt Ross since that Incredible Hulk movie. I gotta be real with you. You look and you're like, oh, it's Harrison Ford. It's not distracting at all. I'm not up there going, oh man, Indiana Jones is in the MCU movie, or man, that's Han Solo. No, it's Harrison Ford playing Thunderbolt Ross, or his version of Thunderbolt Ross. This is technically President's Day weekend movie, which is fairly interesting because, you know, Captain America. I wish I had a Sam Wilson's Captain America shirt, honestly. This is off the heels of the 2021 show, Falcon and Winter Soldier. You're going to see Isaiah Bradley in this. Sam is already Cap again, which is interesting because if you don't watch the shows, which I like Falcon and Winter Soldier, I suggest you watch it. It's a good one. Outside of the villains, it's a good show. If you didn't watch it, you remember at the end of Endgame where he gets the shield and you're like, oh, so he's just been Cap the whole time. Well, he kind of had to work for it in the show. You know, you probably should watch the shows because Thunderbolts coming up. They're going heavy on Fantastic Four, like the AMC IMAX that I saw this in. The countdown when they got to 4, it was like Fantastic Four with that song. So watch the shows, especially if they're older shows, because you need to catch up quickly, especially with Thunderbolts when it has U.S. Agent in it. But yes, what is the plot of this? So, without going super in detail, right? Because I got some notes for you. The plot is, and if you see from all the commercials and stuff here, you're thinking it's just Cap versus Thunderbolt Ross, which it is. I have to give this movie kudos, or should I say not just the movie, but the ads and commercials. You got to give them kudos because they did not reveal who the real bad guy was. I personally did not read into this. I didn't look and say, oh, who's returning? Aside from Liv Taylor, which Liv Taylor is amazing. I wish she could have been Betty in so many more movies, but outside of her, Didn't know anybody else who was going to be in this. Giancarlo Esposito, he plays Sidewinder from the Serpent Society. So for all we knew, it was Red Hulk taking over the government because he's president now. You have no clue. But the actual plot is Sam Wilson's trying to work with him. Thunderbolt Ross is president. 5 months into his presidency, he's trying to make a worldwide trade agreement. Remember, in Eternals, the movie that everybody says has no consequences, even though for shows and people have been referencing the giant being that has come out of the is it East Indian Ocean? I think it's East Indian Ocean is where it is. That is where we have found adamantium. In the MCU, this is adamantium's debut. Although technically the debut of adamantium in the MCU is Deadpool and Wolverine. I'm still wondering how we're gonna, when we do our reboot and our worlds merging, how are we going to explain adamantium? Has it just always been here at that point? I'm actually curious on that. But instead of fighting over adamantium, because what is natural? People want to go and take resources. And Ross throws a little bit of shade on Wakanda because Wakanda has vibranium. They're like, instead of it belonging to an isolated nation, everyone should share in it. And one of the initial things that our boy Captain America, Sam Wilson, and Joaquin Torres, who is the Falcon, just like in the comics, although there is some major differences there. If I remember, I'll get to them. They go and help out to get this package, which you find out is adamantium that Japan has. So the agreement is like between France, India, Japan, and America. And someone does a Manchurian Candidate on Isaiah Bradley and 4 other people, and they try to kill the president. And now it's a race against time because Isaiah Bradley's going to be killed or be put to death. Essentially, he's going to go on a death penalty trial. I forget how they put it, but they were going to kill him. It's a race against time, and we're trying to find, like, I don't want to say deep state, but find who is the person behind all this. I got to give him credit, even though the plot seems like paper, you could call it paper thin. You really don't need your plots to be overly complicated. And the way all of this is strung together from beginning to end, done really, really well. I will give it a 4 out of 5 because it's not anything super new, but you don't need anything super new, right? You get that 5 if it's like, I have never thought of this before. This is pretty good. But I never shy away from talking about the controversies of these movies, right? So I'm going to slide on over here and talk to you about some of the controversies. Now, for those of you who are the uninitiated, there's talk of the Israeli character Sombra, which caused a lot of controversy, especially when you have the Israeli actress. Oh, goodness gracious, I forgot her name. Give me 2 seconds. The Israeli actress. Nope. Shira Haas, or is it Haas? I don't know. But playing this character. Now we're going to talk about this. There's 2 controversies. I'm going to talk about this real quick. The character Sabra, whatever, bro. I still consider like a D level character, even though the character in the comics after Incredible Hulk number 80 goes on to work with other names like Iron Man and Captain blah, 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 and eventually becomes essentially Captain Israel. This character starts off wanting to kill Arab forces, and the Hulk has to go, not everyone is evil, and it is definitely a product of its time, especially with certain propagandas that we have seen propagated in the world, given... I can't really be PC on this, but given the things that we have seen has happened to the Palestinian people, choosing this character to be in this movie, I don't know when they wrote this. I don't know when they decided to do casting on this. Why would you do that? And I'm just going to skip to something I put at the end of my notes. This character literally could have been any other female character. I actually wish it would have been Betty Ross as Red She-Hulk. because Red She-Hulk and Red Hulk essentially come out around the same time in the comic books. First is Red Hulk, then it's who's the Red Hulk? Well, oh shit, who's the Red She-Hulk? And the character's origins greatly change here, because instead of the character being Mossad, the character is an Israeli woman, but went through the Black Widow training in the Red Room and was one of the deactivated, decommissioned ones. You know what? You remember in the Black Widow movie with Yelena and almost called her Rebecca, and her name was not Scarlet. That is the character. That's the actress's name. Natasha went through with reprogramming, getting these women free, right? So that is who this character was, and now she works at part of Thunderbolt Ross's security team. She's the head of his security. That is the changes. That is actually one of the controversies. That's something that Israel doesn't like. Who gives a shit? One of the controversies behind the actress playing the character, we don't use the name Saber anymore. The name is Ruth Bot Seraph. Ruth's actress was born with, I think she got lung cancer as a child. Medically, she didn't. People in Israel have to serve in the IDF. She did not have to, but she voluntarily did it. I'll bet did it in theater, apparently, from my research. From other research I've seen, I've looked up. Apparently, she has indeed said condemning things of Netanyahu, Bibi. Although in the beginning, just like many other people around October 7th, very, very gung-ho. But when you start to dig into history, please do your own research. When you start to dig into history, you look into what has happened to the Palestinian people, how we even got this Israel-Palestinian conflict. Thanks, Britain. Appreciate that. And everything that has happened. Yeah. So that is the controversy there. You can tell. Now, apparently there was reshoots. They did their best to make this character, I guess, seem likable. I'm going to talk about her now because I'm not going to talk about this character later. When you first meet her, with the whole Isaiah Bradley trying to kill the president, she was trying to take him out, even tried to shoot him. And Sam whipped a gold tray. You know the trays when you see at the fancy parties and they have like teacups and stuff on. He whipped one of those like, you ain't killing my buddy. She comes off like an asshole. She is not likable. And then this is the one moment of whiplash in this movie. I turn my head one moment. She's just like, we shouldn't trust him. Don't trust him. Ha. Then all of a sudden it's like, hey, listen to the conversation that Bradley and almost called him Hawkeye. Bradley and Sam have, and then she goes into and looks in the footage of that night, and she goes, "Oh, this is suspicious. I gotta dig," because Ross told her to dig into it, although he knew what this was. That was a really big whiplash to go from angry and unlikable to I'm gonna do my job properly. She even has her own little suit. Little super suit with little blue and black, but blue and one white stripe. All right, Marvel, I don't. All right, what? Okay. All right, I can't see this character showing up again. If this character shows up again, look, you all killed Maria Hill. You killed Maria Hill. You can kill this character off. I would gladly trade her for Maria Hill. Because why the hell did you kill Maria Hill off? Okay. But I digress. Even her little hallway fight scene that had Sam and Joaquin in it, she didn't dominate that either. She's not heavily alone in this movie. We even have the moment where she's trying to move Bradley to solitary confinement so he doesn't get killed, because the 4 other people got killed, including the guard, himself, right there. So, because of mind control, we'll get into the real villain in a second. So, controversy behind this character. This character, you really could have just picked somebody else. I wouldn't have touched this. That's like, you guys didn't touch Fu Manchu. Rightfully so, by the way. You didn't touch Fu Manchu and said, Shang-Chi, your dad's the Mandarin. Rightfully so. You could have just... I get changing it, though, which is funny, because even though there's still some backlash and outrage about this character being in here, period, there's also backlash over there because, hey, she's not part of these forces that do terrible things to people. So there's that. Now let's talk about the Black Captain America issue. When Sam Wilson became Captain America, and I want to say, what was that, 2000 and... It's either 2014 or 2015. I know 2015 was a Secret Wars, and he was in it. So I want to say 2014 or 13, but I want to say 14 when Steve Rogers just retired. We need another Captain America. He's done this before. It was Bucky once. Then we got Sam Wilson. And of course, dozens of racist people did not like Captain America becoming black in the comic books. Whatever. There are two Captain Americas now in the comic books because, hey, you can have two. You can actually have four Spider-Men, two Hawkeyes. You can have two Captain Americas, whatever, and no black Captain America, just Captain America, right? But folks are upset at Anthony Mackie because he said, and I'm gonna try to quote a little bit here because I love pulling up these articles. Captain America doesn't have to he represents different things. I don't think the term America should be one of those representations, and everybody's all pissy and in a tizzy. But hey, folks, and I'm specifically talking to people who claim they like comic books. The thing with that is Captain America said that, and Steve Rogers himself said this. Like, he even willingly went against Nick Fury and saying, "Hey, I may be Captain America, but if I see you doing something that is wrong, I'm not going to stand with you." As a matter of fact, that's why he became Nomad. It's like, yeah, no, these stars and stripes mean nothing. He's supposed to be the greatest idealistic version of the American way, right? So what Anthony Mackie said falls in line with the character. Stop tripping. With that being said, we're going to go back here now and talk about the pacing. Outside of that moment with Ruth, that's so funny, her name is Ruth. Outside of that one moment with Ruth, everything else flows very well. I mean, going from he's become president, 5 months later, the first mission, meeting up with Isaiah, and then everything that follows goes well. Even the return, because he fought Sidewinder at the beginning. The return of Sidewinder makes sense, and then seeing Sidewinder again, everything flows. Everything makes sense. I do appreciate that since Sidewinder technically is a Captain America, Serpent Society is a Captain America villain, we have a Captain America. And given that the guy that hates him so much is Giancarlo Esposito, it works so well. The banter works so well, but the pacing is good. Action scenes fit well. The jokes fit where they need to be. You don't get a sense of... It's definitely not Love and Thunder where it's like joke, little serious moment, joke. You get the weight of the situation, and it's definitely a global situation like the Captain America movies are. Music pace 5 out of 5 for me. Music is kind of basic. I mean, it's a Captain America movie. There's drums, there's an orchestra, good theme. I might put the theme in the description down there. Good theme, but it's basic. Although the ending song after Sam and Joaquin's very heartful conversation, I'll get to that in a second, we do get I by Kendrick Lamar. Guys, this is definitely the years of Kendrick. I Love Myself is definitely the year of Kendrick Lamar. Action was great. Let's talk about these cameos real quick. Action 5 out of 5 for the action. Like, the fight scenes were great. They definitely address Sam not being a super soldier, which I'll get to when I talk about my favorite scenes. But the cameos, I mean, I don't know if I can count Giancarlo Esposito because he's a character in this movie. I hope he shows up again. But man, I'm so glad he didn't die in this movie. Liv Taylor as Betty. just not just in picture form, but showing up towards the end to finally be like, okay, Dad, I'm gonna try to make this work because you're actually trying to be a good human being. Still wish she would have been Red She-Hulk, but can't have them all. Bucky showing up at the moment where Sam is like doubting himself, which falls into my favorite scenes here. And I mentioned I said real villain. 20 minutes in, I can tell you it's the leader. It is the leader who was supposed to be in the third Hulk movie after Incredible Hulk. Because you remember that little Bruce blood dripped into his brain. It's all blue, blue, blue. Well, Ross had this guy and put more gamma in his brain. And he's the reason for so many of the advancements. He helped Ross become president. He also saved his life because Ross's heart was failing. On top of, he more or less, I don't say he poisoned him, but he had gamma pills. And Ross had been taking these things for years and years. And he's been upping the dosage every time, which is how we get Ross turning into the Red Hulk. Tim Blake Nielsen, great job reprising that role. Great job fleshing it out. They really did flesh out the leader. Now, I will talk more about him in a minute. But, they also use Incredible Hulk footage. So, shout out to Edward Norton. Mark Ruffalo is still my favorite, but shout out there. So, my favorite scenes was the Sam and Bucky talk, which I need to make sure I actually pull up some of what was said in my other notes here. So, it's after Joaquin, they're trying to shoot down these missiles so that the Japanese fleet doesn't get hit, so that the American fleet doesn't hit, trying to keep diplomacy in check, right? Excuse me. And so he's watching them operate on Joaquin. They had to restart his heart. And he has a moment where he's like, hey, this is a private room, get out. And Bucky's in there. People in my theater loved it. Like, the older black crowd adored this movie. They loved the action scenes. They loved it. Just in general, people in the theater seemed like they enjoyed this movie. But definitely folks who you think wouldn't watch these movies, because remember, Denzel Washington goes, well, I can't be a superhero, was my people wouldn't watch. No, folks will watch it if they know you, and they will enjoy it. This conversation he has with Sam, Sam's going, it's foolish of me. I should have took the serum. I mean, you and Steve did it. I can't save it. And Sam, Bucky even tells Sam, say everything that you're feeling. And he says he believed he failed, right? And hold on. Bucky tells Sam, Steve gave you the shield because you are you. Steve is a symbol of hope, but you are something that people inspire to be. And actually doubles back into my next favorite scene. But one of the highlights of this movie, besides Anthony Mackie can carry a movie by himself, aside from the biggest highlights is his interactions with characters, like his interactions with Bucky, which we've seen it over the years. Love the fact that this was in here. Didn't even think that he would be in this movie. His interactions with Joaquin, really, really good. Just anytime he's sharing the screen with somebody like Joaquin or Isaiah, Thunderbolt Ross, it is really, really good. But here, I really love this because Bucky is giving him this pep talk while wearing a suit, by the way, giving this pep talk and, kind of getting his head back in the game, telling him you're the right guy for this job. And he tells him, I love you, man. And I was like, oh, they went from hating each other to tolerating each other to being odd couple partners to best friends. This is like a brotherly love, very much a brotherly love. I love the fact that he said, I love you, man. And apparently he's going in an election to be a congressman, which actually happens in What If Captain Carter had the serum and we had the Iron not the Ironmonger. What was he called? I guess he would have been called the Ironmonger. I forget what Steve was inside that metal suit. But we see in the follow-up episode, season 2 of What If, Bucky is becoming a congressman, or he is a congressman. I think he might be even president in there, or is he going to be president in there? It's pretty damn cool that this is kind of not a foreshadowing, but it's reflecting of that, which then kind of questions what's going to happen to Thunderbolts. How is he involved in this? Metal arm and all, and still in the suit. This double backs around to the inspiring talk, to the talk that he has with Joaquin. This is the conversation that made me tear, because you already got people that hate that he's a black Captain America. So the conversation he has is about being a person of color, but not being a person of color. Well, without saying I'm a person of color, right? Because Joaquin Torres was like, I was a little kid in Miami and I see all the superheroes. And you know who I wanted to be? And he's like, we got a running joke about Ant-Man. He's like, please don't say Ant-Man. He's like, I want to be the Falcon. That guy's cool because he never gives up. You're always on point. And Sam tells him, I have to be on point because there's so many people counting on me. And I feel like I'm going to let down everybody's expectations. The movie's big on feeling like you have to prove yourself, feeling like you have to meet expectations, having whole communities on your back, if not the whole world on your back. It was a really nice conversation there. And Joaquin wants to have those same responsibilities. So it's interesting to get this representation, right? You get a black superhero, a black Captain America, who inspires someone who isn't black, but someone who looks at his character and says, "Oh man, this dude is amazing." Granted, what was it? I believe Joaquin wasn't blipped out in those 5 years, while Sam was. So that's probably saw the fights like, oh man, I got to keep on going, and that's how he became part of the Air Force, lieutenant in the Air Force, by the by. So, what was that? Let's talk about some fight scenes. That very first fight scene, not when he touches down, which I love when characters take different mantles, because you get to see how different they are. Like paying attention to how Peter is a Spider-Man to how Miles is a Spider-Man, especially with a different moveset. Sam has wings. So, and his wings are made out of vibranium. So the guy, when he flies down and drops on a group of characters, a group of bad guys, there's a sonic boom after that. His wings absorb energy. He can just deflect it back because that's what vibranium does. Still do it. He does the flips, does the tricks, throws the shield just as good as the Steve Rogers, kicks the shield. He has done his work. If you pay attention to Falcon Winter Soldier, you see him practicing with it. He has done the work. But this first fight, when he's catching up to Sidewinder and he sends his biggest guy at him, and the guy's like, I've had dreams of fighting Captain America, but you're smaller than the other one. Dude power bombs him through they're in like a church in a Spanish speaking country. Don't know where. I apologize, but power bombs him through there. He says, "Do you need a minute?" It sounds like he broke a rib. He's like, "Nope. Let's keep this going. I got shit to do." And Sam, again, I told you, they address him not having a serum. The dude just has to work harder. Message: he just has to work harder. Just kicks the guy, breaks his arm, and just say, "Yeah, do you need a minute, bruh?" And just beats his ass. And we get several moments, even the miniature hallway fight where he loses the shield. Okay, I'm just gonna have to go hands. I like that because he didn't start off with the shield, but he has definitely incorporated it well. I like that. That first fight was really good, and then the next one, because the flight scenes were cool, but the next one is definitely the Red Hulk fight. I mean, Red Hulk catching him before he flies, because they started at the White House and then they move, and you see Sam knowing how to use the rockets, or the Red Wing rockets, it working in tandem with the shield so it can deflect against missiles. But fighting Red Hulk, I don't want to say he's on the defensive, but he is definitely doing his best to not die, which the leader said he would die. We even get an idea of the strength of Red Hulk, because when he uses those wings to absorb it with the vibranium, his wings are shaking so much. He's like, shit, it's so much concussive force. It looks like it could break the wings itself. But when we get to the cherry blossom part, and those cherry blossoms come from, Thunderbolt Ross wanting to walk with his daughter again. The cherry blossoms. We get to this part here, which is so. He grabs him by the wing, and when Sam throws the shield, he catches it and throws it down. The conclusion of this fight is Sam has enough kinetic energy in one wing that he stabs him and makes a boom. Still didn't beat him, but he beats him by talking him down. As a matter of fact, he tried to talk down Sidewinder earlier, which one of his best scenes I like. Sidewinder's base goes, he said there was a 77% chance you would try to talk me down, and he also says you're not much without the suit. Sam used some bleach on a battery to make smoke, and just runs up, throws the knife. Get into that knife stuff in a second, and drop kicks and say, yeah, it just makes me meaner. He has to work harder when he doesn't have all that extra stuff, the extra accoutrements. And I want to talk more about Sam. Dude, the world accepts him as Captain America. He even has folks been like, nah, Cap, you ain't got to pay for this beer. I'll get you the beer. He prioritizes hostages over a package. He's like, y'all can get the package. I'm going to save these people. He speaks multiple languages. Now, according to my memory, Steve Rogers didn't speak multiple languages. Sam Wilson not only speaks Japanese, he speaks Spanish. He spoke another, I remember Falcon and Winter Soldier, whatever European country they were in, he spoke that language as well. He is literally bridging gaps to try to meet people where they are. Different kind of Captain America. I already talked about the villain. Man, that Sidewinder fight. This dude gets stabbed in the chest. Not on the heart side. He gets stabbed in the chest. And just keeps going like, nah, just gonna keep fighting. Gets stabbed with an axe. And I guess he had on vibranium mesh underneath. A vibranium mesh shirt. But it's still sunk in. So I guess chainmail is better than no mail, right? But dog, he took the stabbings and kept going. I like that. I like that he has to fight through the pain because he don't have no fancy smancy healing factor. Matter of fact, I think he broke or dislocated his arm at the end of this movie. And again, instead of going for medical attention, I'm getting Isaiah Bradley out of the jail because Thunderbolt Ross knew about all of this. We get a nice little juxtaposition of the raft scene because Thunderbolt Ross put Sam, Clint, and oh god, I forgot Ant-Man's last name, Scott Lang in the raft. Now he's in the raft, but he's not gloating. He's saying, it's a good thing you turned yourself over. You resigned as president. You did the right thing. Here's your daughter. Your daughter loves you because you did the right thing. You took responsibility, and he talked down the Red Hulk. Aerial stuff is cool. He took down 4 missiles by himself, easy peasy, as opposed to Joaquin, who he's got to catch up. I like showing the disposition of that. Gets tons of respect, and again, I like the relationship he has with Isaiah, especially when we see doing the training scene. Going into Isaiah now, see the training scene with. It's a good thing to show the training part, right? Because, again, no serum. And it's like flag football. You ever play, anybody, flag football, play flag football. Since he has no suit, no shield, he has to work harder. So you're going against, I'll bet, an old man who's still a super soldier. So he has to dodge and grab the flags. And he gets hit pretty hard one time, but it's good. I enjoy seeing it. I like the relationship of I don't want to say it's a father figure relationship. It's an interesting friendship because you can tell Sam definitely respects him. He gives everybody tons of respect. It's always sirs this, sirs that. And you feel for Isaiah when he finally wakes up and he has police all around him. He's like, I can't go back, man. I can't, because remember they locked him in the hole and they experimented on him. And he listens to Sam because he believes in Sam. Even earlier, he's kind of upset that, Captain America is working for the government again, given who Thunderbolt Ross is and given what has happened. But Sam gets him to trust him. He even said, "Brother Sam, I didn't want to bring you down." Did not happen the way it did in the trailer, where he's like, "Well, you called me. What's going on?" No, it's just he came to see him. He said, "Look, if you want to help me, don't save me. All right, just I'm gonna be stuck in here." We get another touching moment of the suit he wears when they go to like the presidential thing. The suit he wore was I think the suit he got married in with, his late wife. It's you get lots of heart with him. It's very interesting that they used him to soften the blow of Ruth. 'Cause at the end of the movie, they're buddies and whatnot. Joaquin Torres, I don't want to call him a new sidekick, but he's kind of the sidekick, but he's a different kind of sidekick. He's different from the way Sam was to Steve, because Joaquin can do the tech stuff, he can hack in and everything, and then he does the Falcon stuff. Now, he's completely different than his comic book counterpart, because comic book counterpart is a teenager who was a mutant. He became a bird hybrid by using Red Wing, and then he grew wings, and he has a psychic connection with Red Wing in the comics, just like Sam does in the comics. I kind of like this better, and being an adult that's just like, I took your tech, I changed the color, I'm here. I believe he's from Miami, but I know in the comics he's Mexican. I don't know if he's Mexican in here, but good character, never annoying. The comic relief, because Sam, while he is a jokey character, much more like he is Captain America. So where Steve Rogers has this aura of stiffness, but charismatic stiffness, Sam has this, this is a cool dude who's going to try to do the right thing, and he's going to crack a little jokes to ease things through, but he's still taking his job as being this inspiring symbol serious. So Joaquin does do some of the heavy lifting when it comes to the jokes. Sam cannot stand to see him get hurt. Like in the lab, there's a lab scene where he's like, I can't let this kid die. So when he doesn't have the shield, picks up some broken glass and stabs a guy. Like, it just then when Torres gets hurt from the last mission they did together, he takes it all himself. You can see the mutual respect, the big brother, little brother aspects here. Ross, yeah, it's all about him trying to. He even makes this point. It's all about him just wanting the one person in the world he cares about to just give him another chance. His daughter. We see him visit her mother's grave. Apparently, she died in 1993, which is wow. Just perspective when you think about years. Visits her. It is Sam mentioning her that talks him down at the end. Although in the beginning it didn't work, but getting him to where the cherry blossoms works. I do like how they show that Red Hulk, like in the comics, Red Hulk is hot. He is radiating heat. That's why he's red. And so when those cherry blossoms fall on his back and chest, it just sizzles. It is interesting to note that Red Hulk is bulletproof, which I'm pretty sure regular Hulks are bulletproof, but they can be stabbed. I don't know if it's because Sam has vibranium wing blades, but they can be stabbed, and he does indeed get some stabs on him, which would make sense because Hulk versus Wolverine. Yeah, that makes total sense. But even though Sam believes in him to be the kind of person that's going to change, he still doesn't tell the truth about what happened until, the leader takes over and puts everything out there. I mean, that's what caused him to have his shift and his breakdown and transformation, right? It's such a huge character flaw because he was going to let Isaiah Bradley take the fall for all of this when he knew who the real villain was. And even going down, the way he becomes Red Hulk in this movie was involuntary, because again, he was dying. He's taking these pills, and the leader's upping the dosage when he's on this black site where no one knows that he exists. And the deal they had, he was eventually going to be let free, but he was not let free. And in this movie, the leader, he feels like he's the hero when he kills one of Sam's friends before he can tell him, what those pills were. he's the guy's like, who are you? And he's like, I'm the hero. And he thinks that him and Sam should have something in common because they both can't stand Thunderbolt Ross. But Sam is a much more forgiving person. He can see the good in people, which is possibly one of the biggest reasons why Steve made him Captain America. So I know I'm getting 40 minutes. I'm 40 minutes into this. I thank you if you stuck around this long. Let's talk about well, I also want to talk about, there's a body count. This is what I like now about villains. If you're going to make the villain's point make sense, where it's like, I've been in prison for so long, this was not right, I had no trial, you said you were going to let me know and you didn't. And everybody, we can go, yeah, I can get that. But you also make them detestable by going, oh man, you killed 5 other people, then you killed this guy, and you killed all these other folks. You're doing a lot of messed up stuff to make your point, to mess with this guy. Good job of doing that. It's kind of actually originally what happened with Killmonger, was like, yeah, I see Killmonger's point. Oh, damn. That's why you're the bad guy, because you killed your girlfriend and then you killed these other folks and you're doing... Yeah, okay. No, I get it. I get it. God, Killmonger was the villain. I get that you can... He was the villain. I'm just saying. He was the villain. Giancarlo Esposito, amazing. Fantastic. I don't know if he could ever play a good guy, ever. But damn, he's such a good, great actor, making this character Sidewinder, who's B tier at best, C tier at worst, but making this character just pop on screen. Thank you for not killing him, because if you would have killed him, I just been like, what was the point, right? I already said that Ruth could have been literally any other character. You could have called Yelena. We could have had Yelena in this, and Yelena gets the idea of, kind of helping make a team because Ross asked Sam to make the Avengers, which, he's talking to Joaquin about because he's going to redo the Avengers. Just, they don't want to be under presidential jurisdiction. Right. Where is Sharon Carter? I watched Falcon and Winter Soldier every week that it came out. It was the second, I believe, MCU show. Where is Sharon Carter? Much like how she said in the show that she was forgotten after what happened in Winter Soldier, and what happened in Civil War. What happened in Winter Soldier? Where the hell is Sharon Carter? She was the power broker. I legitimately thought that she would be the hidden bad guy. I thought she would be the one where it's like, yeah, I pulled the strings behind the curtains and I got all this done because F you guys. No, it's the leader, which is actually a lot better. I mean, Ruth could have been Sharon Carter. Could have just been like, yeah, Sharon came clean to me. We worked this out. Now she works for the president. And there's so many other things that could have happened here. The after credits ending. So the leader, his thing, and I mentioned earlier with Giancarlo, or should I say Sidewinder, telling him, he said there was a 77% chance you would talk me down. And the leader even said, yeah, there was an 89% chance you were going to turn around if you thought Bradley was in danger, but you didn't. And Sam was constantly breaking his not even his predictions, but going against the grain, right? Here he says, you call yourself the hero and you're going to, save everybody in the world. But I've seen the calculations. I know what's going to happen. He's talking about the incursions and Secret Wars. He's basically telling us Secret Wars is coming. Doomsday is going to come. Is there anything else I need to put in here? Nope. Go down. In the front. Ross talking about optics. That was funny, given people didn't care about the optics in this show. If you can't tell, I enjoyed this movie. I enjoyed this movie a lot. I wish I could find time to watch this film again. It continues the trend of Captain America movies being good. Like first Captain America movie was good. Winter Soldier is still top 5. Easily top 5 best Marvel movies. I'm 50-50 on Civil War. Civil War's top 10. I'll give Civil War top 10. Winter Soldier's easily top 5. This is not offensive. It is definitely on par with that first Captain America movie. This is an origin story for Sam, but this is showing like, hey, this is how he is as Captain America. This is how he's dealing with the world. I'm so glad they didn't do this whole what they said they were going to do of he has to reprove himself. No, it's just he's trying to prove himself to himself. It's an internal thing, and I appreciate that. I'm so glad that the whole world is not going, I don't like you as Cap, buddy. Okay, I'm glad that did not happen. Movies are getting a 5 out of 5 from me. Despite characters that you probably shouldn't have put in the movie, despite the plot. The plot is not, I don't need a complex plot in a comic book movie, but it's easy to follow. The pacing, thank God I didn't get Love and Thunder pacing, because I don't think I could have taken any more whiplash. So, good movie. If you've seen it, let me know what you think. What was your favorite scene in this movie? I'm torn between the conversation he had with Bucky and Joaquin, and just the fight scenes. Like, those fight scenes were really, really good. I love the colors in this show too. Oh, I didn't talk about the suit. He got really pissed off when that guy earlier had slashed he had the white suit. No cowl. I think Anthony Mackie and other people hate the cowl, like the cowl that comes from the comics. It looks like it kind of makes him look too puffy. He's not, Anthony Mackie's not a big guy. So giving him a blue suit that kind of mirrors Steve's suit, but it's mapped to how Sam's build is, mapped to how Anthony Mackie's build is. It's nice. I like the explanation of, oh man, he cut through the suit. The dude was trying to take his star, but he has a backup suit in his office that has a giant star. He has a cool ass office. Like, that's top 5 best offices I've seen. Like, not a lair, but a good office. So all the explanations make sense. I enjoy this movie. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Please don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you'll be notified of all reviews that I do. And if you want to support me even further, my Patreon link is in the description below. Thank you for taking some time out to listen to me talk about this movie. I believe it's the first of the MCU one. So if you're here for the MCU content, true believers, I believe in July 22nd. It's Fantastic Four. But I do plan on covering Superman on July 11th, and I don't know if I'm gonna do the next Jurassic Park movie. I still gotta watch the last 2, but I will be back with Fantastic Four, and I still have MCU shows to do. But don't worry, I'll get to it. So, true believers, please be good, be blessed. Wash those hands, drink some water, be good to yourselves, be good to others, either way it goes. Please don't be a jerk, all right? There's too many jerks in the world. As a matter of fact, if you're feeling down and out and you need someone to talk to, reach out to someone. If Sam has taught us anything, there's always someone out there who is willing to listen to you. Just want to extend the hand, go ahead and reach for it. Talk to someone. I promise you're not alone. There are people out there who would rather talk to you today than to miss you and mourn you tomorrow. All right. If you want to talk to me, my social medias are also in that description box below. Follow me. Give me a hi. Say how you doing. As long as you're not a jerk, we'll get along. All right. All right, true believers. Until next time, I'm looking forward to seeing you guys again. I have not forgotten about What If Season 3, and I've not forgotten about Echo. I definitely got to get to Echo before we get to Daredevil. As a matter of fact, I didn't watch the last season of Daredevil on Netflix either. I got some homework. I'll see you next time. Excelsior. Excelsior? Oh, there's the off button. Excelsior.